And it's time for another Live at Lunch here on KRFC 88.9 FM, blasting out across the universe from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in lovely Old Town Fort Collins. Live at Lunch is an audio-video experiment and is available on terrestrial radio, 88.9 FM in northern Colorado. You can stream us at krfcfm.org, where you can find all the archives for many of our shows, including Live at Lunch. We also have Live at Lunch as a podcast now, so check out all of your podcast apps. Go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. All of this is done with support of Canvas Credit Union. If you are on the radio and listening on the radio, and you haven't seen KRFC RadioVision, you should check it out. Head over to YouTube, type in KRFC RadioVision, subscribe, click like, ring the bell, all those things that you do on YouTube, and share the videos with your friends and your family. Spread the word across social media and give these artists what they deserve. Today's guests are rising stars from the great state of Texas, doing amazing things in the indie folk scene. Please, wherever you may be, watching or listening, give a hand and some shouts, some hoots for our Live at Lunch guests, Dawn and Hawks. Take it away.
When waking up was easier, I did it all the time. Now these days are easy only when I close my eyes. I'm sleepwalking through this life. Well, come on and take me back. Oh yeah, take me back. Take me back to another time. And I wanna sleep tonight with you by my side. I know I will be just fine, even in the darkness has a light inside.
I'm not scared of anything when I close my eyes. I'm sleepwalking through this life. Well, come on and take me back. Oh yeah, take me back. Take me back to another time. I wanna sleep tonight with you by my side. I know I will be just fine, even the darkness has a light inside. Take me back to another time. I wanna sleep tonight with you by my side. I know I will be just fine, even the darkness has a light inside. I know I will be just fine, even the darkness has a light inside. do. You're in the clock on the wall, in the picture of that fall. We all stood out on the deck and sang hallelujah. You're in music in the street, in the barefoot dancing feet. I remember. And almost for a minute I forget you're not in it anymore. You're in songs people write, in the headphones on the drive. You're every stranger passing by that doesn't see me. You're in stories heard at night, ones where the good guys win the fight. In the tears I try to hide. And almost for a minute I forget you're not it anymore. December. And almost for a minute I forget you're not in it. Almost for a minute I forget you're not in it anymore.
Very nice. Don and Hawks here on Live at Lunch on KRFC. Welcome to the station. How are you all doing?
Doing good.
Good? Just
happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yeah.
The Colorado weather is flirting with us. Very
Yeah.
not certain. Maybe I want to
So-
stay here.
It is beautiful this time of year.
Yes.
We're actually hopefully going to get some rain. That's always nice because we don't get a ton of it. So,
Yeah.
Beautiful here.
well, I would love to just chat with everybody here for a minute,
Okay.
and I think I'll start in the outfield. We'll start, and then we'll bring it into the infield after that. Why don't we start in the back? We have Zeke Benanante. I said that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yes,
oh yeah.
Benanante,
Grabbing the
yes.
mic. Benanante on the bass in your face. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you. Great to be here. My first time in Colorado in May.
Oh, really?
And everything's just so green and beautiful. It's really
It
nice.
is. It will last a week or two.
We're here for it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time of year. So awesome. Well, I just like to ask everybody kind of, where are you from?
Yeah.
And what kind of brought you to music?
Cool. Those two questions sort of intersect. I'm from a town called Denton, Texas,
Oh, yeah.
which is big music.
The best death metal band in Denton, out of Denton. Yeah.
There's a lot of great music there. They have it was the first place in the world you could get a degree in jazz.
Oh, cool. I
So I
didn't
grew
know
up
that.
listening to a lot of jazz radio. It was commercial free, and just they would tell you the names of the musicians after
Yeah.
each song.
That's what
or
we do
before
here on
each song.
KRFC.
Yeah, and that's a rare thing,
Especially nowadays, yeah.
Yeah. So
We got live DJs and everything. No computers telling you what to do.
and then I ended up moving to Austin. It's kind of a music magnet, so we're all
Yeah.
from Austin now.
Awesome. So when did you start playing bass? Was bass your first instrument?
No, like cardboard boxes and pots and pans
Yeah.
was kind of the first thing. And my little brother is a drummer.
Okay.
And he kind of always knew he wanted to be a drummer. So after taking some piano lessons and some violin lessons, I realized that bass was kind of the right move, having a little brother as a drummer.
Cool. So how old were you when you started that then?
12.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put away all the toys and it was all about bass after that.
That's awesome because it frequently takes people a long time to get to bass. It's like their college instrument when they're like, oh, this is really super cool. I should play this thing.
I had a friend that had a guitar already.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, just get a bass, we'll start a band. And that's kind of every bass player's story. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, no one plays bass. Hey, you
Yeah.
over there.
Exactly. Oh, everybody plays guitar in this room. Somebody needs to play bass. Got to pull this
I
drum. But
love
it's
it.
amazing.
I
Yeah, it's
love
a
it.
beautiful instrument. Music wouldn't be the same without it. So
Agreed.
rock and roll would not be the same. So, what was your first favorite band? Do you remember?
Ooh.
Who did you absolutely love that really got you into?
I mean, the first thing it has to be the Beatles because
Okay.
my mom's favorite band was the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I grew up just listening to that. She saw the Beatles
Nice.
when
That's amazing.
she was a teenager.
Did she hear them though?
No, just screaming. Yeah, she has some funny stories from that. But so I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock and
Nice.
jazz and stuff like that.
Cool.
So.
Who was a huge original jazz influence? For you?
Well, being a bass player, of course, Jaco Pastorius.
Jaco, yeah.
That first record is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got a bunch of other great stuff as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Zeke, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Excellent.
It's a pleasure.
Back on the drums and the mandolin. Are there any other instruments you're hiding back there that I didn't know about?
Not today.
No, not today. We have Chico Oropeza.
Very well said. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, what about you? Where are you from? What got you into music?
I'm originally from Houston, Southern boy. you know.
Nice.
I've been playing music since I was a kid.
Okay.
I think maybe Zeke talked about the Beatles. I actually saw the Beatles
Nice.
on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Nice. Yeah.
These guys weren't around yet, but I know Ringo just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I was playing on pots and pans too.
Yeah.
But I in middle school, I guess I was 12. I was in the band and I was playing a snare drum and learning. It was great training actually, learning rudiments and reading bars and all that.
Yeah.
And then kind of graduated to the jazz band in middle school, and did marching band and all that stuff. And then when I got to high school, playing in rock and roll bands, and that was more of what I wanted to do. So I've always been kind of a guitar player in my head.
Okay.
Even though I'm a drummer, so I would hear the guitar players that I played with, and go home, and I was a closet guitar player.
Okay,
I did, just until later. I just, I'm a guitar player too,
Yeah.
So and a mandolin came many years later. God,
Nice.
the mandolin came in my 40s, which is still a long time ago.
When I was 12.
Yeah, right. And but I just fell in love with it, And
Yeah, it's a fun one.
and it works beautifully with this format,
Yeah. Sounds
And I've known
great.
these guys I've known her for a long time.
Why's that?
The day she was born, I think I was the first one to hold her.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's my daughter. Yeah,
Shortly after that, he was like, "Here's your guitar."
Here's your guitar.
yeah, and it's it's been a beautiful thing. I used to live here in Fort Collins.
Yeah, that's what you said
my
before
wife
we
and I moved
started.
up here.
Okay.
We were young, got married, and we have friends up here. You probably know who they are, but
Yeah.
played lots of music, played the ski resorts, did it for like 6 years.
Awesome.
And then she was born, and then we went back to Texas, and Austin was the only place to live, and that's where we've been for.
Nice.
And it's been wonderful,
That's awesome.
playing a lot of different kind of bands, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you always try to make it a point to stop in Fort Collins then?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Try to make it every year. Yeah.
How's the music scene back then compared to today, do you think?
Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, I hear the music scene is great today because I have a lot of friends that play it, and I believe that it is. But it was really cool back then too.
Yeah.
The early '80s.
Hear a lot of good stories.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I put it this way: had I not come up here, I probably wouldn't be the musician I am today. I was really acclimated to a lot of great music.
Yeah.
Playing a lot of good music when I was up here, meet great musicians that I probably would have never done in Houston.
Yeah.
So that all worked out wonderful, and just it grew from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what about let's go with besides the Beatles, who was an original?
Oh, I've had lots of influences.
Amazing band that you just loved when you were a kid.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I kind of grew up listening to drums, of course. So one of my first probably was like Chicago. Remember
nice.
Daniel Serafini, and I love that stuff.
Sweet.
And then But then, then I went and saw Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, and I said, wait a minute, I'm taking the heads off the bottom. I'm getting a lower,
Let's make these things boom.
And that was a whole different thing. But as a graduated, so to speak, Steve Gadd has been one of my, most incredible, he's like, play that way. And I kind of incorporated all that, from drummers,
Excellent, yeah.
But I really have a wide spread of stuff that I've consumed over the years, musically. Awesome. I love it all,
That's great. Yeah. Sounds good. So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you for having us. Yeah.
Let's head up front, back to the infield. Let's go with, we're going to go with Chris Hawks next.
All right.
How are you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the pitcher on the team. Welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, well, I grew up in Arlington, but I went to school in Denton also, so I lived up there and studied art.
Okay.
But was surrounded by musicians and worked in the music building and did all the things in the music building. Even had an art teacher that was like, do you ever do art that's not music related? And I was like,
what?
What are you talking about? That's all I think about.
That's not a thing.
What? Yeah. So,
that's awesome. So did you two meet in Denton then?
No, we didn't. No.
Wow.
No, we found out the Denton commonality later in Austin. So
yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. When did you start playing an instrument?
I started on piano and voice. My grandmother was a voice teacher, and so I would go over there after elementary school, and she would make me some ham and corn, and I would listen to her give voice lessons in the other room, and then sometimes would sneak in between voice lessons, and she would teach me a little piano or something. I'd pick out some piano, and then I had a musical family, and so I had a piano teacher in the family too that was the church pianist and everything too. So
cool. When was the big move to guitar then?
There was a guitar sitting in that room with the piano, but there was never an invitation to play it. It was always kind of like, and I think it was a full-size guitar, and I had,
little hands,
kid-size hands. Yeah. So I think by the time I was 12 was probably the first time I really picked up a guitar.
Okay.
And at that point, I had already played piano for a while and then tried to play violin and just made a bunch of terrible cats dying sounds. And I
think that's
and
normal.
then, that was like, it's so crazy because I think maybe that would have pushed me away from a stringed instrument, but I realized I was just missing frets. And so once I got a fretted instrument, it felt like, oh, this feels like home.
I can do this.
And then I was inspired by a lot of guitar. I used to beg my dad. He played a little guitar, but he would play for like 5 minutes until his fingers would start to hurt. And then they'd be like, play some more. And he was like, you do it. So I started to play guitar kind of to hear the guitar, if that makes sense. Like, because I like the sound of it, Yeah. And then,
cool.
And then, I just got into playing more and more guitar. And the 90s was a really good time for guitar playing too. You know, kind of. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what about
early
inspirations? Yeah, influences.
We're like leapfrogging
inspirations
influences. I would say Led Zeppelin too.
Yeah.
But it's actually, there's a specific moment. I remember there's actually a reference in our most recent album, and one of the songs, I make a reference to it. I remember hearing Led Zeppelin through my brother's closed bedroom door. He was like a teenager and was like really angsty, and like so he shut his door and Little Brother's Not Allowed.
Yes, of course.
But I heard the breakdown on Whole Lotta Love, the bam bam, and I was like, what is that?
I want to do that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And so I was really into that guitar playing, Jimmy Page, like that like sassy guitar playing.
Yeah.
But really, Hendrix was a big
one,
Like I did in one of my speaking of making art related to music, I made like a it's not a bust, but what do you call it, where it's like just the head like of someone. I made of Hendrix like in a clay a ceramics class,
That's cool. Like, you still got that kicking around?
I do. My parents were so proud of it. They were like, oh, it's so real.
That's awesome. That's super fun.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
we
thanks
appreciate
for
you.
having us.
And speaking of it, we're going to get to Miranda Dawn here in a second. But Light Inside was that latest album that you were mentioning that came out in the summer, fall 2024. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that gives people one more mention of it so they can remember
cool.
Light Inside is the name of the album. Miranda Dawn.
Hi.
Are you the catcher then, if he's the pitcher, or are you the,
I guess so.
the first base? I don't know. Second base? I don't know.
I always thought first base.
You make all the
cool.
calls, so I'd say catcher,
All right.
You
I'll
can
be
just
the
go with
catcher.
coach. Just go with coach.
If you see me between songs, like doing some hand signals, you'll know what's up. You should actually do that.
Well, what about? So you were born here originally?
Born in Fort Collins,
that's what I heard.
But
Awesome.
I was just a few months old when they moved back to Texas. So raised as a
memories.
Texan.
Yes, awesome.
But we came here all the time. This is where friends and family are.
Okay.
So feels like my second home.
Nice.
And I keep trying to convince everybody to move back with me.
It's not a bad place to move.
It's not hard to convince anything. So I grew up in Austin.
Austin. Well, welcome back to Fort
Thanks.
Collins. And when did you start getting into music? Obviously, you probably got a little musical education from your dad.
I feel like I should say 12 because everyone else has said 12.
Yeah, 12. 12's a good age.
Seems to be the number. I definitely grew up with it. Like always in my living room. I didn't realize that other families didn't have band practice in the living room all the time.
That's what I always tell my kid. I'm like, most families, like my kid used to just walk backstage at places and just be like, this is normal. And I'm like, most people don't do that. And he does. I think he's now getting that. But
I remember when like kids in elementary school started saying like, my first concert was, and I was like, I don't even remember my first concert.
Yeah.
I was, But I was influenced by a really good record collection that my dad had, and really good Austin musicians. So kind of all those
Solid
sounds are
there.
swimming in there for the songwriting. And then I started songwriting, and my dad just really encouraged that because he was mostly a player at the time. And so he was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I was writing, I was singing.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So about maybe 12 years old, picked up the guitar. Do you play any other instruments? Do you play piano or anything?
I mean, I've tried, but it's not very good.
Just sticking to guitar. Yeah. Awesome.
Guitar is my instrument for sure. And that actually, that was my dad's guitar, so that's the one I grew up hearing. Yeah. So it's like a family member. And I play it, and I don't even know. My hands just know what to do on that specific guitar.
Other guitars? No. No, thank you. Well, that's awesome. So any big inspirations outside family and the Beatles?
Yeah. Good ones. I mean, I definitely would say the Beatles, but like everything that starts with a B, like Bob Marley, Bob Dylan.
Bon Jovi.
I wasn't going to say Bon Jovi, but we could go there.
We can go there.
Yeah, but also a lot of like female singers, a lot of soul singers, like Aretha Franklin and Carole King, definitely in my
definitely.
ears, and then Ricky Lee Jones, because she could do it all.
Yes, fantastic.
Oh, Patty Griffin later for songwriting for sure. Yeah, lots of good ones in there.
Well, very nice to meet you all and chat with you for a little bit. Let's hear a couple more songs, and then we'll keep going with some chatter. Cool. Once again, we have Dawn and Hawks here on Live at Lunch with us on KRFC.
Corina.
Songs of yesterday, they don't seem so far away. But when I heard your notes ring through, little love bird with a voice so blue, Corina, you got the songs in you. Nothing they could say or do would change that, would change that. It's true. Everything you sing out feels brand new. Corina, you got songs in you. Nothing they could say or do would change that. Would change that. Anyway, anyway, anyway. As if they can, scared of something they don't understand. Do you want to stick around and dance with me? The rhythm and the music will set us free. Corina, you got the songs in you. Nothing they could say or do would change that, would change that.
What's the name of that one?
Corina.
This one's called Father's House.
Father's House.
It's about growing up surrounded by music. In my father's house, music on the radio, bluegrass to blues, well, country western to zydeco, songs in these walls here, and love all around. Who say that sound in my father's house? The windows there open wide. The summer sun is hello. I'm pulling up the driveway from the day selling snow cones. And mama's in the kitchen, but calling out his name. Lights are in his office where he rests at the end of each day. And each night I fall asleep to the sound of guitar strings and melodies from love. If I was lucky, I'd hear him sing. Sing one for mama, sing one for me, sing one for sister, for family. Tell all your stories, let the music pour out. Who say that sound in my father's house? In my father's house, music on the radio, bluegrass to blues, country western to zydeco, songs in these walls here, love all around. The safe and sound in my father's house. Yes, safe and sound in my father's house. Oh, my father's house.
Very nice. Father's House. That's Dawn and Hawks here on Live at Lunch, rocking everybody's faces. Once again, if you are not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out. It's amazing. Check out KRFC RadioVision on YouTube. Subscribe. Every Friday, you get some new music live from the Ginger and Baker studio. And make sure, subscribe, hit like, do all those things. Let's see. Oh, I was going to say, we've got a crack crew here at Live at Lunch for RadioVision, doing amazing work every week for the artists and for the station. We appreciate them greatly. On audio this week, we have Colton Boening, we have Greg Douras, and then we have, on video, we have Dan Perez and Eric Delano, and then two amazing volunteers who give their time to us quite frequently, and we appreciate it greatly. Reed Goodwin and Carrie Pittenger. Thank you guys so much for all you do, making everybody look and sound fantastic. Well, you're on tour for your last album. Came out summer and fall. It's called Light Inside. That's 2024. And you bring the whole family
Oh,
on
yeah.
tour for the most part.
It's our first time
So-
getting to bring Zeke with us, which is
cool.
amazing because we played with him forever. It's
Yeah.
so nice to get to bring the full family
Yeah.
band with us.
That's awesome. Do you all squeeze in like a station wagon?
We got a minivan.
Okay.
We even fit our dog in there somehow. All of us.
That's awesome.
Mama Polly comes too. Whole
Yeah,
fam.
that's really cool. And so I was reading online how you two met originally. Can one of you want to tell that story real quick?
It was like in a blues bar the size of this studio.
Yeah.
With no AC
in
the
Austin?
Texas, in the Texas
In July
summertime.
in the summertime.
Yeah, I walked up and asked her to dance.
Nice.
And I said, no, thank you. Kidding. I said, yes. And we danced, and it was great. And then, like, 6 months later, he was at a showcase, and I remembered he had asked me, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a songwriter.
Nice.
And
That's
he was
cool.
like, me too. But we had never heard of each other or seen each
Seen
other.
each other, yeah.
So when he came into that songwriting showcase, I was like, get on stage.
I
Let's
know
hear
that
you.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
And so we sat around in a song circle afterwards, and my dad asked me to play this song I hadn't played or written. Even, I wrote it a long time ago. And Chris just picked up a guitar and started singing and playing along like he knew it. There's no way he could have
Awesome.
known it. And when I heard those harmonies, I was like, all right, that's it. Got to
can
record the
do
song with you.
Well, I always feel like a good song feels instantly familiar,
Mm-hmm.
and that song was spades of that. Like it just instantly, I felt like I'd heard it and knew it. You know,
Nice. Is that song recorded? Can people hear it somewhere?
Great question.
it is. We have currently it's on our Patreon.
Okay.
We recorded it on the first. It's not a Dawn and Hawks album. It's a Miranda Dawn album,
Okay.
and but we. I took that recording and another one from that album and submitted it to the Kerrville Folk Festival. I didn't
Cool.
tell Miranda because I knew she'd be nervous if I told her. And she got selected to be a new
Woo.
folk finalist at and that was like in 2012.
Yeah,
or-
that was our first big show together. It was
Really
at the
cool.
festival there. And
It's a good place to do it.
Yeah.
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 And so everything Dawn and Hawk style has like just had a life of its own. From our songwriting, it all just kind of feels like, oh yeah, we know this. I know your voice. I know your song.
That's really cool. And so do you both write songs separately? Do you collaborate a lot as you're writing
We
songs?
do both, yeah.
Okay,
We'll
well-
have individual ideas that we'll, kind of like trying to pick up a refrigerator, be like, help me out with this. And then there are other
That's a good way to
times
put it.
where we'll start from scratch together,
Nice.
And then we do have individual songs that we, that just one of us wrote. I think the next song we're going to do is one that Miranda wrote. So.
Okay.
It's definitely like having two cooks in the kitchen, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because like he's got his specialties and I've got mine, and we mix together, and the
Yeah.
flavors work. And we got real good ingredients
Yeah.
here with us. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And do you ever throw in any other songwriters? Do you write with other
Yeah,
people
we
too?
do that occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, individually or together, we love co-writing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so, like I said, you bring the whole family with you. But what does mom help on the road? Is she like the tour manager then?
Mom brings the party. She
brings the party.
She's the coolest one of all of us.
Yeah.
Tour managers make you on time. Polly can make us a little bit like,
But she's shining brightly, let me tell you.
where are we? What time is it?
What's going on here?
Mama
The
merch.
best.
Mama
Yeah,
merch.
she does.
Mama
She sells all
merch.
the merch. She
That's
makes all the
nice.
friends.
That's
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always good to have a friendly face at the merch booth.
Oh,
selling
she takes
and
good care of all
chatting
of
and-
us, too.
She does.
and talking you up and knowing the music, because a lot of times venues are like, this person can sell merch, and you're like, that person doesn't know us.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's nice to have somebody, but at the
Absolutely.
same time, it's not the same as
She knows me kinda
somebody-
well.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes it's hard to read the label from inside the bottle. You need somebody out there to be like, "Hey, this is happening."
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
that's
Keep you
really
grounded.
cool. Yeah. So, Zeke,
Yes.
when did you? How did you originally meet everybody?
That's a good question.
Because you didn't meet in Denton, so how does that come
I need a
together?
microphone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have a good buddy, Clint, who also plays on all the records.
Okay.
He's a drummer and super busy guy, amazingly
Plays with.
talented. Oh yeah, he plays in a bunch. Right now, currently, he's with Band of Heathens.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, no, man.
We love you, Clint. Shout out, Clint Simmons. So I met him through a church band. I was in
Okay.
a church band,
Cool.
and then these guys were having auditions. They were doing a lot of acoustic stuff at the time. Chris is now playing his electric a little more. So I auditioned on an acoustic bass, the stand-up
yeah.
upright bass. And I mainly played that at first, and then recently for the latest album, we have a couple songs that are a little more rockin', like I'm not sure if we're going to play them tonight or not, but so I switched over to electric, which is where I started. So
Yeah. It's It's like home. Yeah.
Also, we travel
Oh.
in one car.
Oh, it's a
too,
lot
so-
easier to travel with
Yes,
the
with
electric bass.
Yeah. Either that or they just have to leave you home and they bring the bass.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
one of you
Yeah.
or
That
the other.
doesn't work. They only come together. It's a package deal. No, so when Clint recommended Zeke to come for those auditions, we had auditions all morning with different bass players, and I want to say you were last or second to last, but he was the first one where I completely forgot that we were doing an audition. I just danced and played guitar the whole time, and I was like, well, yes,
that's the one.
Yes, absolutely.
Made it happen.
Zeke's feel is unlike anybody else's.
Yeah.
He just makes all the songs so much more fun.
got the
And we hadn't
grooves.
even heard him on electric. Then he pulls out electric, and I'm like, where have you been? That's fun. Now you can walk and move and dance as
Yeah.
you're playing.
I might get to play some upright. We're playing a festival
Right.
upcoming, and they may have an upright bass for backline.
Nice.
So,
That's sweet. Old school.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, that's awesome. So what is the vibe in Austin nowadays? How does it inspire you creatively?
I don't know if we're the right arbiters for that. Let's see. The vibe in Austin currently as a creative. I think Austin has something about the energy that people bring that's sort of like everybody passes it off like a relay game. And so it keeps a creative and expressive energy there all the time. I was drawn to it. Like we talked about, Denton is a very creative small town. Austin is like if you took Denton and like multiplied it. It's like multiple, pockets of creativity all over. So like we're South Austinites and we have friends that are all over town, and there's different like little communities all around Austin,
That's cool.
And there's so many different genres in Austin, which is really cool
Yeah.
to kind of draw from a bunch of different genres all the time. It's multi-generational, which is really important to us too. So
That's cool.
It's-
You
Yeah,
want
I've
to
only-
make like actual friends with other musicians. Austin is such a great
good place,
town
yeah.
for that.
yeah.
I've only been there once, and it was just for a day.
Yeah.
Went to a cool hat shop. I know that.
Oh yeah.
There are a few good hat shops there.
Yeah. If you want to spend
some
money,
lunch.
we can help you spend money in Austin too.
It was cool.
So,
I think Ween was playing at the outdoor. What venue is that?
Stubbs, maybe?
Yeah. So we like parked down the street and heard a little bit of Ween, but
Fine.
and then
Yeah, you can hear it
I
outside there.
I met Pine Top Perkins
Yes.
at a blues bar while we were
Cool.
eating. That was kind of cool. But
Probably
yeah,
Airtones, I bet.
yeah,
That's
I need
very
to get
cool.
back. It was a long.
I
Time
just
ago.
bought it. I just bought a vinyl because it had Pine Top was a featured guest of I think it's the Nighthawks album. I saw it at in Boulder at
Yeah.
one of the. It was like in the $3 bin. I was like, oh,
Grab that one.
Yeah, that was like
Sweet.
Pine Top $3. That's mine. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Dawn and Hawks here on Live at Lunch. Let's do a couple more songs, and then we'll chat a little bit about Light Inside, your latest album that you're touring for.
Oh, I can hear your footsteps. I know your heartbeat right in time with mine. I can trace the feeling, shape of your face. I know every line. I could tell you stories, recount the memories, all the years we've seen. And I can bring you closer, back to remembering who you wanna be. Still know you like I know you. You still you're trying to keep me from crying. Make me laugh and stay. I can't erase the lines from your face. Give you a safe place to rest. Do you still know me? I know you. You still know me like I want you to. This one is called Over My Head.
I'm on a ledge, leaning in to words that we said over my head. Feeling free again. I'm jumping in to the deep end. Did you mean it? I know I did. Words that we've said, they're over my head. Oh, so we'll never know. Used to seem impossible, yeah. Oh no, it cannot be. Secretly in front of me, yeah. Take your time, have some of mine. I'm with you. Well, you know that I don't mind. Feeling free again. I'm jumping in to the deep end. Up over my head.
Dawn and Hawks on Live at Lunch here on KRFC, playing Over My Head. That was groovy.
Thank
I like the little bass and guitar
Yeah.
interplay there. That was
We did noodly noodlies.
Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. I love it. Oh, awesome. Well, again, you're touring for your Light Inside album that came out in summer, fall of 2024, not
Yeah.
so long ago.
Yeah.
And this is your first time in Colorado since
then,
you
yeah.
released the album. Where else have you been?
We did a Midwest run. We went through. Let's see, where all did we go? We kind of went out through like Nashville and
Ohio?
Ohio. We went to Asheville. Actually,
That's
right. We were there like a week before the flood happened. Actually,
wow.
and then we went to Canada for the first time.
Nice.
Yeah.
An awesome house concert there.
That's awesome.
Let's see, where else did we go? And then we came back through Kansas City, and did we do Oklahoma too? I'm trying to remember.
Not on that
Arkansas?
trip, but we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like name a state, probably there.
Probably
Yeah.
did it up. It's all the Midwest.
Yeah. Our favorite spots are usually like Midwest, Colorado, California, Texas.
Yeah.
We need to do more East Coast, but we need to make more friends up there.
Yeah.
Y'all invite
Takes
us.
time.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of work.
We go where we're invited.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
anyone that, hey, if you want to invite us.
If you want.
Yeah. If anybody
If you
wants
want
to
to.
invite.
Only if you want to.
Yeah. Tell all your friends. And so where did you record Light Inside? Did you do it in a
We
big
did
time
record
studio
it-
in Austin?
Yeah,
or-
we've recorded the majority of our albums up until that point. We recorded them at home in
Okay.
a home studio, and then Zeke also has a home studio. We recorded a lot
Okay.
of rhythm tracks at his place as well. On this last record, we wanted to do kind of like we're doing today, do a video capture with the album,
Mm-hmm.
and so we set up a day at Arlen Studios, which is in downtown Austin. It's kind of a famed studio there off the South Congress. And we set up and we did 8 songs in a 12-hour block. And
Oh, wow.
we did
That's
video and the recording that's actually on the album. And then added a few overdubs here and there. But the majority, the bulk of that album is from that one day. And then we recorded a couple of other tunes. We recorded one of the songs actually at Chico's house
Okay.
called Father's House. We
Cool.
had it was like we have to record it at the location's named
Yeah.
after. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So are you utilizing a lot of home studio technology when you're creating?
In post production for this album,
In
yes.
post-production, too, yeah.
Yeah. So this one we did the capture, at the studio. We did a covers collection of covers, kind of like post pandemic sort of a thing, as a reinvigorating our email list and kind of encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
People to kind of reconnect, and we did that on video at the same time.
Nice.
It was sort of like with an original song, sometimes it feels more precious. You're like,
Yeah.
like it has to be captured. But with the covers, it felt a little bit more relaxed, and it was kind of a test subject, kind of a beta test to see, what's this like to record video and audio all at the same time.
Yeah.
And we did that. At another great studio, but
Awesome.
and I should thank the city of Austin. They were actually they had a live music fund that was part of the
cool, yeah.
funding for it too. So
Nice.
it helped us swing it.
And thank Jeff
really cool.
Arnold, who filmed every
I was going to
song.
say, like,
Yep.
And
did you have a
it was
videographer and
one
everything?
take, and he just
Wow.
did some fancy footwork in between all of our mic stands. I don't know
Moving
how
around.
he
He
did
like
it.
choreographed it. So there's one spot that's really interesting on one of the songs where I didn't notice this at the time, but apparently he worked it out with Zeke, where he had to go between Chico and Zeke, and you can see Zeke's bass goes like this, to make room for him to slip underneath.
I thought you were just doing a cool bass move. But,
It was like
It's now
room
in the
for him to
show,
slip
too.
through with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just dodging an invisible cameraman.
Little drawbridge action.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so when you're putting an album together, since you
Yeah.
have 2 songwriters and then some collaboration, do you try to even it out, so like half and half, and then
Yeah.
like
not
the same
like in the
yeah.
writing process, but in the selecting of songs. And we try to make sure there's like an even amount of singing lead.
Okay,
But
yeah.
other than that, it's all really collaborative.
Some of that happens a little natural too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
This might be the first record where normally if you hear one of us singing lead, usually every once in a while there's an exception, but whoever's singing, that's their lyric.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
that.
a
Yeah,
lot
is
of
there anywhere
time.
you're like,
Well,
I wrote this
this-
song, but I think you're better.
But this
This
you'd be
record,
better for
we
this
did
one?
that.
This
Cool.
album was
Yeah.
more, where we actually switched off on who's singing lead on some of the
And it's
things.
because I wrote a really folky song, and then I came downstairs, and Chris was rocking it out. And I was like, that's how we're going to do it, and you're going to sing it. That's great.
That's awesome. And so, well, you said came downstairs. So you live together, obviously. But like, do you feel like that is super helpful capturing the songs? And do you ever like throw lines at each other, like from the other room, like somebody sounds like they're maybe struggling
Absolutely.
with something, and you're like, this would sound better.
Yes, that's pretty much how they're all written. Chris will be doing the dishes, just making up a chorus, and I'm like, thank you for doing the dishes.
Yes.
This is good.
Well, the song that we're going to play next was actually sort of started in Manitou Springs at the Penny
Oh, nice.
Arcade. I was joking around
Oh, the
singing
arcade's
like
amazing.
I was just making up a song on the spot. Like, I only have $1, but I'm gonna treat you right at the Penny Arcade, And Miranda was like, no, you should, like, I know that's cute, but like keep going and actually
going.
Yeah, so I turned it into a song, and that's one of the tunes that I think it's almost kind of become a Colorado favorite. We do it every time we come.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's a good story because it's
Yeah.
such a classic arcade. I love
It
that
is.
place.
Always go to the
Yeah.
Penny
It's
Arcade.
amazing.
Yeah.
Got the chance, go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And as far as like lyric writing or even I guess music writing in general, do you have anything you do to like to get that inspiration to create? Is there anything you do either individually or like do you like let's go to out into the country for a
We've
weekend
tried
and
that.
That actually doesn't work as
for
well as
this
just
album-
collecting the songs as they come
For
up.
this album, I would say it's Get a Good Night's Rest.
At least
Dream.
3 of the songs on the album came in dreams, which is
Nice.
crazy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
really
yes,
cool.
Get a Good
The
Night's
last
Rest.
song that we just played, Over My Head, it was almost like kind of a fully formed thing. I think it was my subconscious like channeling some Jimi Hendrix influence. It was like, yeah.
That's sweet.
And Miranda has several that just kind of came, but
Pop
she's
right
kind of
out.
like that. Like she'll just like, sort of stream of consciousness, like just like songs come out.
Just nail it.
In
yeah.
my mind, though, songs are kind of like painting, like canvases,
Mm-hmm.
and so for the last couple of albums, it's been like being in a gallery with half-painted canvases and looking at all of them and kind of just feeling what's the theme that's running through all
Mm-hmm.
of them, like a collection. And the word light was in almost every single
nice.
song of this album.
Picture you shouting at the wall. What are you trying to say? Just
That is
tell
my
me.
songwriting process.
I just shout at the walls.
That's awesome. Well, Light Inside is the name of that album. I assume it's streaming everywhere. Where's
It
a great
is.
place for people to find more information about Dawn and Hawks?
If you know how to spell my last name, you can find us. She's Miranda Dawn, like the sunrise.
Yep.
Dawn and Hawks, HAWKES.com.
Awesome. .com.
Dawn and
Is there a
Hawks
great, where's the best like social media place? Do you have like a
Everything
Instagram or-
at Dawn and Hawks.
Yeah,
Everything,
honestly, I like the email list so much.
email list.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
consistent. Sometimes you post things and whatever, the algorithm's not happy with you that day.
Yeah.
So
All the
email
goodies go to
list
the
is-
email list.
Nice.
The
Okay.
email list is
and then
where-
you have a Patreon. So if
We
people
do. Yep.
people are interested in supporting you and getting that top secret song and stuff that other people don't get to
That's right.
see or watch or anything like that. Get
Sometimes
some
we'll
goodies
make up
there.
songs on stage, and
Nice.
that's a place where we put some of the
Oh,
songs
awesome.
that we make
yeah.
up on stage.
That's
yeah.
fun. Super cool. So
Yeah.
dawnandhawks.com. That's HAWKES.
You got it.
And the Patreon is there. And awesome. And
all there.
signing up for the email list is a great way to get news. Live at lunch here on KRFC. We've got a little bit of time left. You've got 3 songs maybe you can squeeze in and
Okay.
just play us out. If you
Okay,
can
let's
Okay.
if you can
Well, I
squeeze in
think
those 3 songs, we should be
We should
good.
definitely do Penny Arcade. Let's do that.
Well, I walked into the 5 and dime, $15 in my hand, calling out to me from the back of the room on a dusty guitar stand. So I don't have a lot, but what I got I'll share with you. Now ring me up and string me up and see what I can do. All right. I walked out to the corner of the street with this guitar in my hand. Can I play my song for you? Oh, brother, yes, I can. And I don't have a lot, but what I got I'll share with you. You put $1 in my tip jar and ask, can you play some blues? I walked down to the penny arcade with this $1 in my hand. Can I treat you right? Oh, baby, yes, I can. And I don't have a lot, but what I got I'll share with you. Now you make me the happiest man alive. If you say I do, well, I do too. I walked down to the old town square with a promise in my hand, passed down to me long ago, my mama's wedding band. And I don't have a lot, but what I got I'll share with you. Now you make me the luckiest man alive. If you say I do, well, I do too.
So we just have a little bit of time left with y'all. We'll play a song about having just a little bit of time.
We're made of stardust, honey. Only here until we're gone. Blazing fire, burning on until embers. But not before we leave here, honey. Before we're scattered in the sky. Before we ask those reasons why, well, just let me hold you here in this life. Oh, just let me hold you a little while longer, yeah. We're made of stardust, honey. Only here until we're gone. Blazing fire, burning on until embers. Oh, now before we leave here, honey. Ooh, before we're scattered in the sky. Before we're finally laid to rest. Or just let me hold